To a Friday. Wow, that week went fast. We've got some weather to talk about. Today we're going to talk about this weather advisory up around Lake Tahoe. They're going to get some snow down to pass level, probably just above 5,800 feet. And then some chances of showers around here. It will definitely put a kibosh, whatever that means, on your weekend plans. We've got the opportunity for a few scattered showers as we go through the next couple of days, especially late today and then into Saturday. Not a game changer or deal breaker, but if you've got an outdoor party planned or something like that, you'll want to see the model I present that has been pretty good for this time of year. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's one of the things we're going to do. We're going to look at some surf stuff too, just because there's some cool things happening out in the oceans of the world as the seasons change. Swell direction changes. We'll look at that. We'll look at the eagles as well, but we start off with the eagles being the big bear eagles, who are giant. They're giant. They got some food going there today too. So Mom brought in something big. I'm not sure what it is. We'll check it out together. This is the satellite loop, and you see the diving cool air. You can kind of see the low right here, can't you? See, I kind of moved it right here, but see the low center? See that spin? Yeah, buddy. And then you see all the moisture. Look at this. Look which way it's going, right? You're like, well, the storm's come in from here. Isn't the storm coming from here? Well, it is, but the rotation around the low, which is centered there, creates this counterclockwise flow. Signature for a low pressure center, high pressure center, you get clockwise flow. Super easy stuff, right? Look at the difference, right? High pressure, low pressure. Okay, so let's go right to the model because you've got plans this weekend. Don't change anything. Like, do what you're going to do, but take a jacket. Take a jacket. And don't be a baby. If it sprinkles a little bit on you, it sprinkles a little bit, but it probably won't. You'll be lucky if you see a sprinkle. Mountains might be kind of cool. They'll get some sprinkles, some snow flurries. This is the vorticity, and I put a circle around us. And you see that elongated trough, see it? And that's that low we were just identifying, isn't it? See it? Boom, 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 boom. Upper air. So this is upper 18,000 feet or so. And you see it kind of click out. So there's your Sunday starts to dry out. And the reason I know that is, I think you can see this, but there's the ridge axis. See it popping up, warming, drying, booting this low out. See the low here? And then the low is kind of, that's the trough axis. But everything's progressing going that way. So how's it work in terms of precipitable water? That's what you need to make this go down, right? And we've looked at this before, circle around us. You see it's pretty dry. I mean, it's not real dry, but it's dry enough. And that's why you see right here, just a little bit darker green, just a little darker. That's, it's Saturday night, Sunday. That's the best chance for a few scattered showers. I know. Now imagine if you had that purple in there. Like this deal here, there's something right there. That's sort of interesting next Wednesday. See, that could be something. But that's not where we are right now. We are worried about the weekend. Let's go to the HRRR, or am I North American right now? North American model, which is fine. These are a little more granular than the GFS. Those were the GFS, precipitable water and vorticity. This is the North American model, sea level pressure. We're down at the ground in rainfall. So going hour by hour. There you go. A little bit of rain. This is this afternoon, right? So what do you do with that? What do you do with that? And then there it blooms a little bit. See, late this afternoon and into tonight and into tomorrow morning early. It's all around us, man. Now, not Southern California, but Santa Barbara, Big Sur, there's a chance of thunder shower down towards Bakersfield as that area move in. And then some stuff wrapping around. I know. So if you're me or I'm you or we're, whatever we are, I'm just going, hey man, that ain't changing my day. It just isn't. It isn't, because we know, right? We look at the precipitable water. It's there, but there's not a ton. There's a ton of dynamics. There's a ton of upper air, not a ton, but for this time of year, it's a ton. It's a lot of upper air support. So to get something to break through and maybe create a thunderstorm down on Bakersfield where the strongest dynamics are, because one of the things to note truthfully with these systems is, and I'll show you this is Saturday morning, mid-morning, but So here's the trough, right? I'm drawing in like if it was the jet stream, but we're at the surface. But at the right front quadrant, which is in this zone here, the right front quadrant of the trough is where all the energy is. That's the positive vorticity advection, PVA. It's where the lift is. So whenever you get a trough, here's the trough, upper air, right? This section is where stuff's going to go down. And so that's why there's a chance for a thunder shower in parts of, central and southern California, especially central California down towards the Tehachapi's. Okay, so that's the forecast. I'll do it one more time, and let's not live and die by this. Let's just, because this is what I mean, live and die. Just don't die by it. Just keep living, right? So that's Sunday morning. So Sunday clears out, but it's all kind of really about Friday night into Saturday. Okay. And is it raining a lot? Not on me. I hope it does, but it's not going to. Okay, so we got the weather right off the top. Again, I'm doing chapters in these things now. So if you just want to look at surf stuff, you can look at surf stuff. If you just want to look at forecast models, you can look at forecast models. If you just want to look at the eagles, you can look at the eagles. You don't have to sit through me going on and on. Ooh, look at that. First things first, Refugio Point. Look at how that wraps in. Isn't that awesome? So this swell starts here, kind of turns, and look how it wraps all the way back in. That's wave refraction, my friend. Refracting is a thing that wavelengths, that energy does, light does, waves do. And the thing that's cool about waves is, here it comes, it hits the point, and it starts to work off the bottom, and it turns the wave into the inside. That's how you get lenticular clouds, right? You're basically the wind hits the mountain and bends, right? And you get this curvature. And that's what we're seeing here. See how it bends into the cove. I've had some really good times at Refugio. It's a fun wave. Now there's a south swell, and Refugio picks up a south swell, and that's what you're seeing. We're going to look at the south swell components and what that really means right here. This is from Surfline. By the way, do an awesome job with this stuff. So I'm going to just show you something, and without telling you what we're looking at, obviously Surfline, so we're looking at something surf-oriented. But if you're looking at the Northern Hemisphere over the next week or 2 weeks, you go, hey, wait a second. That looks like the upper level vorticity map. It mimics but we're at the surface. These are waves, right? So that's how waves form. They follow the jet stream disturbances, which translate to the surface, which create wind, right? And that wind creates waves. And so this is a byproduct. So if I was to draw the jet stream in, it'd be harder to do on this map, but I could. Could I? No, it'd be too hard. There's not enough land observation, but you can see it. Okay, so what I noticed first in the Northern Hemisphere is that's wave height, so it's a couple feet, not very big. And you're like, okay, well, where's all this swell, and what are you going to do? Where are you going to surf, Bill? Well, if you look at the Southern Hemisphere, they're coming into their winter. We're going into our summer, so the Aleutian Islands, way up here, they're not done producing storms, but they're done producing strong storms. Down here, in the Southern Hemisphere, Australia, South America, it's just coming on winter. These extratropical storms are starting to light up. And as they do, they start to push swell our direction, which is actually happening this weekend. It's actually happened a little bit today. We saw a little swell at Refugio. This is swell period. And also, whenever we talk about waves, like when you see like a 5-foot day, it's 8 seconds, 5-foot wave high at 8 seconds, whatever. It's cruddy. It's not very good. It's too close together. It's not a very good wave. A 5-foot wave at 15 seconds is a really good wave, because 15 seconds is the distance between let's just go ridge axis to ridge axis. So if you're watching waves on the beach, it's this wave crest to this wave crest. So 15 seconds. But what that means is between the waves, there's a lot of room, and that room between the waves is actually energy as it moves up on the beach. So big period swells are the best to surf, and they're the biggest. And so now we're looking at this map, which is periods, right? And it shows, watch where the direction of the swell's coming from. The periods, the direction, right? So even though it's small up in our area, the southern energy is coming in, and it's coming in the form of longer wave energy, or longer period energy. And so watch what happens. So this is as we go into today. Look at that down in Southern California, right? Like San Diego's already got a little bit of swell. So see the oranges? That's 8 feet, 17 seconds, something like that. That's pretty good, pretty good south swell. I'm not sure if that's, no, that couldn't be. It looks, man, they're calling it that. But you can see, anyway, so I guess there's a lot going on here. But what I want you to see is, oh yeah, you start looking to the south. And then when you get into this, see how in Northern California, the west swell here is mixing with the south swell? Oh my God, are you kidding? That's unreal. That's as good as it gets. There's places in California, and you know who you are and where you are, that are going to light up. This is when everybody gets super local, because south swells are, if you look at how it comes into Southern California and then that northwest swell, they play off each other. And there's places in California where you get both of those swells coming in the same session. So it's nonstop awesomeness. It really is. So anyway, but look at it, the seasons change and the swell energy changes. I love that. Okay. So that's a real simple primer. And I just wanted you to know that. Okay. Moving on to some weather light. We've done the forecast, right? We know we're just going to stay tuned. I'll do something tomorrow morning. I might do something tonight too. Maybe we'll update the model tonight. Yeah, because I know a lot of you have wedding plans and party plans and you're sweating it. Don't sweat it. Stop sweating it. You're going to be fine. This whole weekend, you're going to be fine. It's just jackets. Okay, so here's the cloud cover. It just doesn't show much. This is the forecast. Take a deep breath. Forecast for today. Much cooler. Even down in the desert southwest. Yeah, Reno's just going to go, or Lake Tahoe's just going to be in the upper 40s today. Mid 60s in Sacramento, where I'd expect it to be. Sacramento today, I would expect them to go 81 or 2 degrees average. I'm just pulling that out of my bottom, but I'm pretty sure they're right about 80 degrees for their daytime average, and they're solid 15 degrees cooler than that. 58 in San Francisco, not far off, but 67 in Redding, Bakersfield 70, Los Angeles 65. So it's going to be awesome. Fridays are awesome. Especially, I live by a school. These are the forecast highs for tomorrow. See if you can mentally draw on the jet stream. I live by a school. I always say that because it's I used to live in Marin, jet stream. I used to live in Marin and had like an acre of land overlooking Mount Tam. It sounds richy, but it wasn't. It was just, I was fortunate. I got a cool spot and it was awesome, but I was kind of alone up there, with the kids and everything. Wasn't alone, but I mean, in terms of community. So then I go, this isn't working because we were too far from schools. We were kind of remote. So I moved to a place that's right dead smack the opposite in a neighborhood full of schools and full of kids. That's awesome. Just literally all you got to do is go, if I go sit on the front porch, which I don't do near enough, but if I sit on the front porch and get up right about the time kids go to school, because there's like 3 schools around me, just the energy of the kids on a Friday walking up the street, man, it's awesome. It is awesome. It's literally like being a little kid again. So you know what I'm talking about too. I mean, I have kids. They're all grown up now, but that feeling, that just seeing that energy coming off kids, and the Friday before Christmas break, Friday before Easter. It's awesome. Okay, so these are the forecasts for tomorrow. You can see, look at how even the models are going, hey, dude, we don't know. Maybe it's going to rain. Yeah, late. Right, that doesn't do me any good at all. That's a no, it's not going to rain thing. This is rain, for sure. This is severe weather, possible. Again, Texas has been getting hammered. Travel looks pretty easy, though. Okay, quick run through the mountains. Okay, this is our friend Mount Shasta, and let's roll through it. Can we do it? Let's do this. I love this mountain. Never gets old, you're probably at home going, yeah, it's getting old, Bill. Come on, that never gets old. Look at that. Oh my God. Climbed it once, got my fanny kicked. We got into some weather and had some bad rock fall. But it was awesome. Snowed, lightning and thunder. It was really weird, but it was freaking awesome. It was awesome. Me and my wife. I actually was going to propose to Pam at the top, which I thought was just we were counting it as top. We got to Misery Hill, which is kind of like right here, and then there was a white out. and thunderstorms, and it was snowing, and I'm like, we gotta go because we can't die, right? So I had to wait to get to the bottom, scampered down, took forever because you couldn't glissade because it was too icy because it hadn't melted. So we got down to Horse Camp, which is where our tent was, and I asked her down there, and she said, yeah. So, and there's another story. We had a rock fall come right by us. It was gnarly. It was awesome though, but it was just like, oh my God, because Avalanche Gulch is like a bowling alley, like the gutter at the side of a bowling alley, how the ball kind of goes like this. That's how this rock, the size of a Volkswagen, was coming down the icy mountain at like 6 a.m. It was horrible. It was awesome to see. We weren't hurt, but it was scary. We are at, we went to Mount Shasta. We're in Alturas, North Alturas at Blue Mountain, where it's 57 degrees. Alturas, Blue Mountain, 57 degrees. This next shot, I believe, is going to be, that is our Mount Tam from Muir Beach. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not sure. I should know where that's the Muir Beach camera. I'm going to figure out where they put that. I like to ride my bike around and see where the cameras are physically. But anyway, that's Mount Tam, looking from the south side. Mount Tam, or Mill Valley, today is going to go 64 degrees. Let's see what else we got here. Clicking along. This is, I like this shot. I just found this camera. This is Halama down in here, right? Halama State Beach. We're at the tip of Point Conception. Vandenberg Air Force Base is over here. There's some really good surf. There's a little secret wave right here. I can't remember what we call that anymore. But the beach park is here, and this is all land that was Chumash land at one point, for sure, and should still be, but it's not. It was given to the state or the county of Santa Barbara. Can't remember what year, 1941, from Atlantic Richfield, ARCO. Gave them the land because they were drilling oil off there, and I think it was 1941. And then the county of Santa Barbara turned it into a state park. I mean, it's an awesome state park. It really is. It's beautiful, and working cattle ranches too. And the beauty of it is not to be underestimated. Toro Peak, which this is not. This is Orchid. Yeah, this is Orchid. 59 degrees. Again, kind of looking out towards Vandenberg Air Force Base. And you can see the clouds, not quite there yet. You see the lower clouds. As we tour around California, I guess I should have mentioned this before, but you see the results of that big trough that was hanging over us, that thing we did earlier with the models. So you see, oh yeah, look, and we're just a little further south, so we're not seeing the strongest dynamics, but they will get this far south as well, and a good chance for showers down towards Orchid as we go into today and tomorrow. This is Toro Peak. Is it? Come on. No, this is out by Big Bear Lake. This is at 7,000 feet. Big Bear goes 65 degrees. Big Bear, which is where our eagles are, is kind of in here. It's beautiful. These are high mountains. And I always wonder, like, who lives out there? I grew up in a place. Paradise was kind of like this, really sparser than this. This would have been a big city to us, actually. But they're kind of in that cool high desert zone, which I do like a lot. Temperatures throughout the state today are going to be in the mid-60s. This is really pretty. This is Toro Peak. This bad boy is 8,700 feet. It's almost 9,000 feet high. I know. So I'm like, well, that must be fog. No, that's just low clouds. That's how high these mountains are. And you're looking, I don't know if I got the right, well, I know what we're doing. This is the Salton Sea one. So this is the sort of northwest end of the Salton Sea, which is Salton Sea. We should do something on that. That's an interesting story in California history, obviously, right? Because of there's water issues with it, with the Colorado River and blah, blah, blah. And then I am old enough, I remember when like Frank Sinatra and those guys would perform. They were trying to turn it into this, trying to turn it into Vegas before Vegas was Vegas. And it dried up and got weird and saline and became sort of a ghost town. And now they're re-entering, trying to do it again. Palisades Tahoe, I think I made a mistake and called it by its old name, which is a derogatory term, and I apologize for that. It's just, we grew up with it that way, right? And I understand completely why they changed the name. But a couple of you guys mentioned, I go, yeah, I should be more sensitive to that for sure. It's warm up there today. Palisades is going to go into the mid 50s. and it's just beautiful. I like this camera because it shows us around. You can see the snow clearing quickly off the hill. We will, tomorrow or the next day, we'll look at the 7-station index and see how we're doing for rainfall and runoff. Our 8-station index, pardon me, and we will do that. Here is Ocean Beach. Doesn't really like a south swell. I know people think it does, but all the years I've surfed there, I've seen some good souths get in there, but it's a little funky. It's all about the lefts too. And I'm a regular foot, so going backside, wave after wave, and especially a good south swell because it gets big. A good south swell in the right time, right direction and everything is pretty scary at Ocean Beach because you got to get the winds right. It was scary for me because it's backside, and backside big waves scare me. Okay, there I said. I'm honest about my feelings. This is Cardiff. They got a little bit of wind down there. This is a little bit of that south swell starting to show up, right? So Cardiff is the same size as Ocean Beach, or a little bigger, which is unusual. Let's see what we're doing for time here. Oh, we're crushing. Okay. I'm a little early today, but This mom and babies, they're funny because I tuned in earlier. This is Big Bear, the Big Bear eagles, and they're big eagles. They had a big piece of meat in here earlier. I think that just by his demeanor, I think that's Shadow, the dad. I think he's so. Oh, that's the flathead. That could be mom. Yeah, but you can see him eating stuff here. One thing that's interesting is when I tune in with them a lot, you get this. You look in, it's just a ball of black feathers because they're just growing so fast and eating so much. I think all they do is eat and sleep. So when you turn this camera on, which I'm sure you have, Big Bear Eagles, just go Google search it. You can get the live feed. Turn the audio way the heck up because you can hear all the sounds of the birds around them, the crows, the babies eating, crunching around in the nest. That nest, by the way, is about at least 6 square feet. That core part of the nest maybe is more like 4 feet, but those are big birds, man. Big birds, and they are not far from flying. I am told that they won't leave forever. They'll come back the first couple of weeks or so after they've learned to fly, because I really want to watch. I'm vested. I'm fully in on these birds. Okay, so we talked about the weekend weather. We talked about the snow advisory in the mountains. Do you take it seriously? Yeah, that's one I take seriously only because it's that time of year where people are thinking, well, maybe I'll go hiking or what, and that's when you get in a little bit of trouble when the storm comes in the mountains. The mountains are a whole different deal in terms of weather. So, sorry about the whatever that noise is. He's pumping some stuff out the front there. I think they're still putting concrete in, but it's a very dangerous time for hikers and outdoors people because so the mountain snow advisory. Yeah, be real careful. For us, the chance of showers, mild to cool temperatures right through the weekend. Sunday's your nicest day on the weekend. I guess that's what you wanted to hear. And start looking for south swells. Those are showing up as well. All right. I will see you back here probably tomorrow or maybe tonight. I might update the model and do a quick short or something and just talk about the model because I think that model, especially for you people who have plans this weekend. Okay. See you back here.